So during this video presentation, I'll be firstly giving an overview of the fitness tests I completed on my client to test his different components of fitness. And then I'll also be moving on to going through the strategies to either help maintain certain components of fitness or also help to improve certain components of fitness based on the results of the tests. So firstly here I've just got a bit of information on my client and also some of the questions that I asked him during our consultation before I did the test. So I just asked some very brief basic questions about his involvement in sport, so what sport he does, his position within that sport, because obviously within rugby especially, depending on what position you play, there's different fitness components that need to be at higher levels than others. I also asked about his frequency of training, how often he plays, the fitness components he feels that he requires for his specific positions. So, for example, speed, agility, muscular endurance, etc., etc. And I also asked what he thinks his personal strengths are and also the areas that he feels he needs to improve. Obviously, this is clarified after the tests are completed, but it's kind of interesting to find out what areas he feels he's not so strong at and also is strong at. So this is some test information on the tests I completed on him. So I did for aerobic capacity, I did the yo-yo test. For flexibility, I did the sit and reach test. For strength, the hand grip strength test. Speed, 30-meter sprint test. Agility, Illinois agility test. And for power, I did the stand and long jump test. So this is the basic protocol of the test. So what I did during the test. So these are just a few reasons to defer or terminate the test. So for any reasoning why the tests will need to be stopped or maybe moved to a different time. So some examples are failure of equipment. So if some equipment doesn't work, for example, a heart rate monitor, if that doesn't work, the test might need to be moved to a different time. Participant might have extreme exhaustion, so they can't feel that they can carry on. Might be just a simple request from the client that they don't want to carry on for whatever reason. It might be some personal issues, injury or illness. Obviously, if the client is injured or doesn't feel well, then we're not going to get reliable results from the tests. If tests are completed outside, it could be poor weather conditions, could affect the surface. Therefore, any running test like the yo-yo test also might not deliver reliable results. And also any kind of conditions like irregular heartbeat, any kind of serious standout things, which might mean terminating the test. So this is the risk assessment for before I did the tests. So for example, one hazard could be muscle injury during tests. So for example, the yo-yo test, it's quite a long-lasting test. There could be a chance of muscle strain or injury during the test. So as a way of controlling this, to make sure all participants complete a sufficient warm-up before completing the tests. Ensure they're fully warmed up, their muscles are nice and stretched out, ready to go. Another one could be participants feeling dizzy or lightheaded. So during some tests, for whatever reason, they might start to feel not themselves, feeling dizzy or lightheaded. So as a way of being able to control this and ensure it doesn't become a serious issue, just simply allow for the participant to sit out if they admit to not feeling at their best. So it's in their client's right to be able to step out whenever they want. So I'll have to allow that to happen. And finally, just briefly, inappropriate footwear. So obviously, if they're doing something like the Illinois agility test and they're wearing high heels, it's obviously not could cause injury, rolling of the ankle, and also it's not going to surface accurate and reliable results of that participant's agility and speed. Okay, so this is moving on to the actual test now. This is the results for my client's tests I did on him. So just very simply with the standing long jump test, I did 3 goes for each test. Gave obviously apart from the yo-yo test because that's a very long lasting and exhausting test, so we only did that once. But as you can see here, just very simply the 3 results for each test. I will obviously go on to explain whether these results are good or bad or not. Some just photo evidence of me completing the test on my client. So obviously you can see here we've got the sit and reach test. This was him about to do the standing long jump test, hand grip strength test, Illinois agility test. Before completing the test you have to be in like almost press up position, and this is the 30-meter sprint test which is here. Right, so we're now going to move on to evaluation and then strategies for improvement or maintaining for each component of fitness. So for the Illinois agility test, my client got a time of 18.36 seconds, which actually compared to normative data is below average. So you can see here the normative data table, 18.36 is in the below average for male. So for his evaluation, obviously this shows that agility is a component of fitness that needs to be improved for my client, and especially as he is a winger in rugby, speed and agility is a crucial component of fitness to be able to get down the pitch as fast as they can whilst also being able to dodge and weave round opposition. So as a way of improving this, I've come up with a few strategies to be able to help improve the component of fitness of agility. So I've said here twice a week I would like my client to dedicate around 20 minutes of training, of a training session or in spare time to improve agility and also speed. So agility and speed are kind of interlinked. So as one way to help improve is from ladder drills. So ladder drills are a great way of improving speed of the feet and also any other arm speed as well. So what I'd like him to do is complete each repetition through the ladder 6 times. Complete each drill with speed but ensuring that it's precision, so make sure each ladder drill is done well and efficiently, otherwise there's not much point in doing it. And a few examples of some drills are the side straddle hop. So it's quick lateral movement drill that engages your hips and abductors. Hop in and out of each box with both feet and avoid clapping feet together. So just a bit on the actual technical side of it, so ensuring he's doing it correctly. So we've got in and out as well. So facing the side of the agility ladder, he's going to touch in and out of each box with both feet. Repeat this on drill on both sides of the ladder. So it's all stuff to do with really quick feet work, and also double treble. So follow the pattern. So in and out, out. So you go 2 feet in, 2 feet out, etc., etc., all the way down the ladder. So these are just a few examples of ladder drills that they can do, and my client can do. I'll send more through, but they're just a few examples of them. So just as a reminder, complete each repetition through the ladder 6 times as a way of reassuring they're doing the technique right, and also the more they're going to do it, it's more likely they're going to improve their agility. Also a few cone drills. Obviously there's multiple different cone drills that you can do as a way of improving your agility, but the one I've come up with in particular is will involve laying out 7 cones and numbering both sets of the outside cones, so these 3 and these 3, 1 to 6, and so the client will do bounce steps either side of this cone, and then it'll need a helper for this one, and the helper will call out a number. So each one of these will have a number. So for example, this could be 1, that could be 4, that could be 2, etc., etc. It'd be good for them not to be in order, so the client isn't just running to the same kind of spot in order. And very simply, the helper will call out the number. They'll have to run to it as quick as they can, run round that cone and then back to the center as quick as they can. So obviously it will be spaced out over a wider distance than this image, but it's just an example of the layout. So each drill, 30 seconds of work and then rest for a minute. So they'll go 30 seconds of rapid work and then have a rest for a minute, but complete that 6 times. We'll do a total of 6 sets. And yeah, hopefully over time we'll see an improvement of agility from these 2 examples of ways of improving agility. So now let's do an evaluation of the 30-meter sprint test. So again, the client's time here we see is 5.55 seconds, which actually came, compared to normal data, came out as poor, as you can see on the table just below. So as an evaluation, speed is obviously a thing that needs a lot of work on, as from the score that was produced on the 30-meter sprint test. And this is also for a winger, like I mentioned before, speed for a winger is crucial. The job of the winger is to receive the ball and be able to sprint down the touchline as fast as they can to gain as much ground as possible. So speed is something that is a really important component of fitness for a winger to improve. So as a way of doing this, a strategy for improving the speed, the best way of improving speed is by working on explosive power. So things like a weight sledge, for example. So for weight sledging, put a weight on a sledge at 30% of the client's body weight and push the sledge to mark out a 25-meter area and push the sledge for 25 meters as fast as they can, really pushing back into the ground to really get that acceleration forwards. And this will help improve obviously propulsive force, which is the force generated from pushing back into the ground. That's really important for improving speed, working on that propulsive force and also developing leg strength, which is going to help massively towards improving speed. Yeah, and that's about it for that one. So like I said, 3 reps in 1 set and complete 4 sets. I'd like them to do this exercise about 3 times a week, so it could be after a training session in their spare time. Like I said, it's really important for their client to improve their speed. And also another way of improving speed is uphill running. So find a 20-meter uphill space, could be anywhere, could be in a park, etc., etc. And all I like them to do is just sprint up the hill as fast as they can. And when they get to the top, obviously walk back down again. So do 5 reps in 1 set and complete 3 sets. And so the advantage of uphill running is by sprinting uphill, you are challenging your body much more than running on a flat surface. This will then help to build up your muscular strength and power due to the force needed to push back into the ground to then get you up the hill as fast as you can. So they're also again working on that propulsive force to push back into the ground to get up the hill as fast as you can. And also help increase your acceleration as well as making you generally a lot faster. And repeating this will allow your legs to adapt and improve, thus making sprinting on a flat surface feel a lot more comfortable and easy. So hopefully as a result of doing this uphill running over time, it will make running across a flat rugby pitch feel a lot easier. And finally then, another way of improving speed could be resistant band work. So to make it rugby specific, get a partner or any helper to wrap a band around you, hold a rugby ball in the hand and put a cone out 20 meters away, drive out to the cone as fast as they can whilst holding the rugby ball, and when they get to the cone, place the ball on the cone, run backwards with control, because it's really important that obviously once the band loses its tension, it can force you back quite quickly. So it's really important about controlling the run back and then driving back out to get the ball again and bringing it back, etc., etc. So I'd like my client to complete 6 reps in 1 set and complete a total of 4 sets. And this kind of resistant band work is perfect for improving